Hello, here we go. It's the Kopite podcast.
Do you know what? I've got that excited about doing this live stream, boys. Now buzzing about that. I played the wrong intro. Didn't even play the Champions League intro. That's how excited we are. We're here. We're live, and Liverpool have just beat Atalanta 5-0. We're all buzzing. We've all had a bevy. We're all happy days. I'm never predicting a game ever again. Matt's never doing a prediction show and writing an article for the Kopite again before the game has even finished. Unbelievable. Mick, what a game.
Where'd you start? I don't know. I don't know where to start. Go on. You can start with your little stat you've got, Matt. What was that stat you told us before?
Jota's now the quickest player to hit 7 goals for Liverpool since 2000. So he's done it two appearances quicker than Torres and 3 quicker than Studge and Salah.
Just say that again for me, mate. Say that again. I want to hear it again. Go on.
Quickest player to 7 Liverpool goals in the last 20 years. Ooh.
That is unreal. It's unreal. It's what a performance. I mean, it's like, where do we start? I mean, we did the preview show, didn't we? And Matt, you spoke about it on the show last week on Reds in Europe, and we thought that on paper this would have been our most challenging game. But Matt, I just going into the game, mate, we were all thinking, 9 points would have been great. We would have taken a point. Some Liverpool fans saying they would have taken a point on that because they know how good Atalanta are. They're a goal scoring side. They've got some great players. But going into the game, mate, first of all, before we jump into how many goals scored, how did you feel going into the game?
I would have taken a draw. That's how it was. Like, my predictions are quite wacky. I think we can all agree on that. I always expect us to win, and this time I was like, no, all right, let's stick with the draw, because this team gives everyone they play problems. They give Juve problems. They give City problems. They got knocked out of last year's Champions League quarterfinals because of an injury time goal. Like, this is a squad that can hurt you. So I didn't think that we'd keep a clean sheet, let alone do what we did. And I don't know if I'm more shocked at the quality of our performance or how bad they were. They were dreadful. Like, they were actually like us against Aston Villa. It was bad.
Absolutely, Mick. We said it from the beginning of the group stage when the draw was made. This was the game that we were worried about, because one, we were playing away, which we don't do quite well in the Champions League anyway. Again, it was in Italy, which again we don't do quite well. And Atalanta, like Matthew's just said, they've been absolutely brilliant the last couple of years in Europe, and I'm blown away by that. What about you?
Yeah, I think we were all worried about this one because we're not great on Italian soil. They battered Midgetland, 4-0, and they drew with Ajax. So they've done well against teams that we've struggled against in the last 2 games that we've got over the line. And this is the game you'd expected maybe was going to be the hardest one out of the first 3, and it's turned out to be the easiest, that's why we're all so surprised. It was like when Klopp's system started to really work and teams hadn't really got to grips how to defend against it yet. That's what it kind of was like. They didn't know what to do. They were giving us way too much space, and it was just like, it was like a practice game at times. It was like, yeah, go on then. You just have a corner, but we're gonna go down and score off a counter attack off a corner like we used to do a couple of years back. And it was boss to watch. It honestly was. Like, Thiago Jota, just what a signing. Like Fernando Torres, like some of those goals, the first 2, Jesus Christ, just absolutely what a signing that is.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, Matt, how happy was you to see that he was starting the game? No disrespect to Bobby that was left out, but I remember you saying last week you would have liked him to start the game, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, he's earned it, hasn't he? He is. There's no doubt in that he should have been starting that. I think that the idea was that Bobby starts City. I think that's kind of being thrown up in the air now, given what Jota's just done. But he was unreal. Probably should have scored in the first couple of minutes when he had that one-on-one.
Yeah.
But I think he learnt from that, and then when he went through for his first goal, he chipped it because his first attempt to slide it under the keeper failed, and he makes stuff look easy. What he did today, the goals he scored, they're not easy.
Yeah.
Maybe the tap-in, maybe fair enough, but we've seen Fernando Torres miss that. Yeah, I mean, he just looks like he's been there for years.
Yeah, it does, mate. And Mick, I mean, like you said, it was part of your starting lineup prediction, wasn't it, when we were on the show with Harvey, that Jota was going to start. And if there's ever a player that's hit the ground running as fast as, like Matt said at the beginning of the show, it's Jota, and I just can't sum up that performance from him. He's obviously got man of the match. He's banged in a hat trick there. You know, I think it was like at one point when he scored his hat trick, it was 4 attempts at goal, 4 on target, and 3 goals. And it's those types of stats we just like, yeah, let's keep that going.
Yeah, he's made it look easy, and like Klopp said, like I don't know what he said last week sometime, that he wasn't worried about Jota coming in because he knew that the way he played at Wolves, it was perfect for him to come into this team and kind of hit the ground running. But no one expected the way he's been doing it. Like I think I heard one of the stats then I think it was McMahon said he's only the 3rd Liverpool player to score an away hat trick in Europe. Only Torres and Michael Owen have done it. Just like to be in amongst them is just absolutely unbelievable. Actually, sorry, I think it was Sadio. Did I say Sadio Mané or did I say Michael Owen?
You said Michael Owen and Fernando Torres.
No,
it's okay, mate. It's okay, mate. We're all on the beer tonight, mate. We're all having the beer.
It was Sadio Mané and Michael Owen, but yeah, to be in amongst those, he honestly, like Matt said, the first one where he's, to be fair, he should score, but it's the drop of the shoulder and it's the pace that he's very deceivingly quick. He doesn't look fast, but once he's up in a foot race, he's just going to absolutely blitz you. Then the first goal is just absolutely unbelievable, to be honest. Like that's probably maybe the hardest one because he's running at speed. He's getting
pulled back.
You could easily fluff that there, and then the second one, he's controlled it, and it's like the defender looks like he might get there, and then it's just that little burst of speed and quick feet, and it's just like, oh man, it's just I could talk about him all night. It's just I can't believe how good he's doing. Like it is like when we signed Torres, it's like when we signed Suarez, and it was like hit the ground running, and it's like we've got this amazing front three, and Bobby's unfortunately not doing so well at the moment. So the fact that we've got him to come in poses a major question for Sunday in terms of who's going to start, because if he doesn't start on Sunday, he's not he's going to kick up a fuss, but he's just put on a performance there that is, if any performance was warranted to start against Man City, it was that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matt, just going off the way the whole team played, it seemed like it was very easy for us to cut through that midfield, wasn't it? It really was. It was so easy to play the ball through, even from the back. You know, Trent was playing some defense splitting passes that the front three were getting, and it was too easy at times, wasn't it?
A piece of piss. To put it simply, like apart from the fact that their formation was ridiculously open, considering they were playing against Liverpool, they weren't even pressing us. Like, yeah, you've got a centre back pairing, or an unsure centre back pairing of Joe Gomez and Reece Williams, and they didn't even try and make him nervous. Just let us have the ball. Curtis Jones was free to do whatever he wanted. Henderson was free to do whatever he wanted. Same with Gini. Like it was just have the ball, do what you want. And then our most creative player in Trent just not being challenged. It was tactical suicide. It was ridiculous. I don't know who they were scouting during the week, but it wasn't us.
It's true, Mick, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, it's every time we got the ball, I just thought, yeah, we're on here for a chance, and that's exactly the way the game panned out, especially in that first half.
Yeah, it was too easy, and it's mad the way it's. I don't know. They've obviously thought, right, we're not going to change our system. We're going to play them at our own game and the way we play, which is attacking in loads of numbers. But what they didn't cater into the fact was that if you then do that, your defensive shape's got to be, you've got to sprint back, otherwise you're fucked basically. You can't defend. Sadio Mané, Salah and Jota, 3 of the quickest players in the game, and you want to go and play like that, then you're asking for trouble. And that was literally the name of the game. It was getting behind as and when we could, and it was too easy at times.
It was. And Matt, the stat that we came out with on the last show was Atalanta have only failed to score in 1 of the last 19 European games, and we've just kept a clean sheet against them with, again, the so-called makeshift defence, with Reece Williams and Gomez. And just to touch on Gomez there, it feels like he's playing, they said it in the commentary, haven't they? It feels like he's playing now with that experience and that level-headedness of, right, I'm the guy that's now going to lead the centre-back pairing, no matter who I'm paired with. And it seems like it's working really, really well at the minute. And again, another great performance from both of them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they smashed it. Obviously, if you compare Gomez to Van Dijk, it's never gonna be fair on the kid. So you've got to look at him based on the performance that he gave, and he didn't really put a foot wrong. Again, having Alisson back is massive. It's massive. The presence that and just the shouting that he's going to do to help Gomez organise that back four it's vital. But Pifero Gomez, Duvan Zapata is not an easy player to keep quiet. The guy is quick. The guy is strong. He's a bully, and he didn't have a sniff, at least until we were 5-0 up, and then we took our foot off the pedal a bit, and then he sort of did a couple of things. But yeah, Gomez was brilliant, and Williams as well. Just he doesn't look 19.
No. How old is he? 19? Not 19 league titles. I like that. Like little Phil you've just done there, Matthew. I love that. But I think, Mick, one of the things that I really picked up on was, even though obviously we have got this makeshift back four, like Matt just said, they're both playing well every game that they play. There were times where Atalanta did get the odd chance. I mean, there was the chance where Alisson nearly did an Ian Walker from 1997, if you're old enough to remember that, where the ball, he sort of went to the ball, went behind him, and luckily enough, he was quick enough to get back to it. But they did get through us a couple of times in that first half. Not so much where it was overly worrying, whereas every time they got the ball, but I still think that we still have to sort of just tighten up that little bit more, don't we?
Yeah, and if you're missing Van Dijk, it's going to have an effect. Like, we're still getting to grips with that. Like Matt said, getting Alisson back in there. When we had Adrian a bit, we were struggling a bit in terms of, because Adrian's position and he's not quite far off his line for what the Klopp system likes in terms, because you've seen at the end there, Alisson was sweeper keeper type thing, and because that Zapata's, like Matt said, a beast, and he was quick, and we had to be sharp, and Alisson was always making sure he was on the edge of his box, ready for those through balls. But we're just gonna have to adapt. Like, Gomez was boss tonight, Reece Williams was also boss. Like, didn't put a foot wrong. Like, I know they had some chances, but that's to be expected. They're at their ground there. They were throwing bodies forward, and we were defending with all we had towards the end. Even though it wasn't majorly strenuous, but he gave us a few tests towards the end. I think they had was it Zapata who had that boss shot at it, like the post
and the bar came back out. Yeah.
There was that one, and then Alisson saved a couple, didn't he? Where Zapata, he should score. Really, he's hit it straight at him, and he's just right down the throat. But we're just gonna have to adapt. Like, Gomez and Reece Williams boss, Nat Phillips in the last game was boss. So it's like, if they keep doing that up until the point where obviously Matip was in the squad today, wasn't he? So hopefully he might be fit for Sunday, and then we've got Fabinho coming back shortly as well. So we should be able to keep it going up until the point where we've got, hopefully, all of most of the centre backs, or covering the centre backs, in a position where we can actually fucking play them.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, just on the first half, where they did get the odd chance, it was still very, very dominating performance from Liverpool. But I tell you what, I don't know what they were eating at half time. Don't know how hard they were sucking on them oranges, but my God, they come out that second half, and within a couple of minutes, it's fucking 4-0. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what's going on there? And then it's 5, and you just think, I mean, this is a team who, like Matt said, they got through to the last stage of the Champions League last season, and I was shitting myself for this game because of all the variables that we spoke about earlier. But by the time that second half had kicked off in the way where I was thinking, Jesus Christ, this is and it reminded me of Liverpool from 17-18, that Champions League campaign when we got to Kiev. It reminded me so much of that, the way we were so dominant on the ball, and just a joy to watch with every attack we were going forward, weren't we, Matt?
The third goal was shocked. Second half, the start of the second half shocked me. And again, it was a mix of our just dominance and how bad they were again. Because for the third goal, when Jones sets Salah away and Salah takes that first touch, I was expecting a defender to come out of frame and just be there. Yeah. So I was like, what the hell are you doing, Mo? What's that? And then as the camera continued to pan, I was like, he's alone. What the hell is going on? Why is he alone? And then again, he plays Mané in easily. And then again, Mané sets through Jota. And it was just a simple ball in behind. And they were done. They were done. And it was good that we were able to figure that out and to execute it. But it was more shocking the fact that they kept allowing it to happen. It was just, I mean, great on our part.
Of course. And Mick, I think, although Jurgen Klopp will be pleased with the 5 goals that we scored, he's going to be even maybe more so happy with the clean sheet, because he was interviewed before the game by BT Sport, and he was saying about, you know, the fact that Reece Williams is back in the side, and you know, what they can expect, because Atalanta score a lot of goals. And he just said our situation at the minute and the way we play, you know, keeping a clean sheet is important, but obviously the performance is what we're really looking for. So you sort of, if you look through that, Klopp sort of saying that, look, I expect us to concede a goal, but as long as we win, I'm not asked. But we kept the clean sheet and scored 5 goals. He's going to be on that plane home thinking, fuck me, what a team I've got.
Yeah, and I think that isn't that 3 consecutive clean sheets in the Champions League as well.
Mm-hmm. So, it is indeed.
So, and we're 5 points clear. Like, the thing is, like, Klopp's not going to come out going, "Oh, we're gonna bang these 5-0." Yeah, it's he knows that there's a bit of frailty there, and we've just all touched on that. There's a bit of frailty there in the defence that we're not used to, because we've usually got the absolute colossus Van Dijk in there, and everything just gets headed away, or we don't usually get threatened as much. But obviously we don't buy the throw. Boss to have 3 consecutive clean sheets in the Champions League is not like Liverpool. We usually do it the hard way. So I'm enjoying it for once. Like, I'm enjoying that being top of the group and getting 3 wins, clean sheets. Like, I know we haven't kept many recently, but we can carry on like that. I mean, we've got City on the weekend, and then Leicester coming up, and then Atalanta away at home. So we've got, the games are going to be coming quick, thick and fast. So the quicker we can get Joel Matip, in my opinion, fit and ready to go, the more we'll keep more of those clean sheets, definitely.
Yeah, it's a good point that Mick's just made, Matty, the fact that we never usually get out of a Champions League group stage easy, do we? You always do it the hard way. It always goes down to match day 5 or match day 6, or, you know, Alisson pulling out a fucking worldie against Napoli in the last game, which is, you know, it always goes down to that. But, you know, three wins out of 3, 9 points, 5 clear, and not conceding a goal. Given what has gone on this season with our defensive lapses, I think that's why we're even more happy the way it's gone, aren't we, really? Because of the situation we're in. Yeah,
it's 3 out of 3, and also taking in fact 2 of those are away matches, 1 at Atlanta and 1 at Ajax, which is the ones that if someone would have said, look, you're going to draw in Amsterdam and you're going to draw in Atlanta, it'd be like, yeah, right, okay, I'll take that. Given what's gone on, yeah, would have done. Yeah. When we're 5 points clear now, and yeah, Mick's just said, look, we've got City and Leicester coming up, and the start that we've had has just given Klopp the chance to be like, all right, well, midweek we're kind of guaranteed to qualify. Let's just rotate the shit out of our team and see what happens. Definitely had, I mean, the pace that we played at today, how easy it was, definitely seen that we had an eye on City anyway. And then when he made those changes, it's a great start to the Champions League campaign. I didn't think we'd be 9 out of 9. No, I didn't think that. Given how the season's gone in terms of the injury to Van Dijk, because he's so pivotal this side. He's one of the main reasons why we've won what we've won over the last couple of years, and losing that type of leadership, and you know, you do sort of like shit yourself a little bit. But again, it's such a massive compliment to everybody else who's stepped up. You know, a massive compliment to Joe Gomez, massive compliment to Reece Williams, massive compliment to Nat Phillips. All right, Nat Phillips in the Champions League squad, but he's still there for the league, which is, you know, helped Reece Williams and stuff. It's a massive compliment to everybody. And Mick, given the fact that it's now 9 points, and you know we've got a home game next year, you can afford, in the Champions League, you got a home game next year, you can afford to sort of make those changes, can't you? Because I tell you what, Atalanta will be shitting themselves coming back to Anfield, albeit there's no crowd, but it's going to be interesting, isn't it, for the next game, Mick?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going to. Well, they're not. They'll probably won't set up the same as they did in this game. Definitely, absolutely spanked again. So, no, it's like you look at all the injuries we've had, and there's a whole list of them. We've missed Alisson for a bit. We've missed Mané for a bit. Thiago, and all the other ones we've talked about on the podcast. And we're still top of the Premier League, and we're 3-3 in the Champions League. And it's like, why are we even? And we know we get a bit downhearted when we've got all these injuries, and especially Van Dijk, when you see he's probably out for the season, you do fear the worst because he's presence. But the fact that we've reacted the way we have is just absolutely synonymous with the Jurgen Klopp team, and we're just absolutely that I don't know if it's turned into a bit of a cliche, the old mentality monsters, but I'm still going to use it. It's just we don't know in the games where we've went 1-0 down, we don't know when we're beaten, and we know that we're going to come back and win. And in games like this, where if you set up like that, you're asking to get battered, and it could have been more. I mean, they could have got a couple, but we should have probably got more. So in the end, it was. It's just we're just too good when we're in that type of form, and I just hope we can take that into the City game on Sunday, because we're definitely going to need to be on our A game.
Yeah, Mick's just put the nail on the head. Before this game, if you'd have said, right, what's the best confidence booster going into the City game? It's keeping a clean sheet and scoring a shitload of goals. Well, we've just done that.
Yeah,
it's the best preparation, isn't it, for Sunday?
I mean, winning 5-0 is always great. I mean, yeah, I can't really say more than Mick has. It'll boost the confidence of everyone involved. I think Yotta's definitely got himself into contention to start. I think he will start. I still think Bobby will start as well. I think Klopp might just change his system, just fit everyone in. I mean, you'd hope that we could do similar to City, considering how leaky their defense has been as well. Maybe not leaky, but shoddy, almost as shoddy as ours. But brilliant warm up, because that's what it was. That's what a warm up game.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you can get a 5-0 in the Champions League, is so impressive, no matter who you're playing. Because let's face it, there's some questionable sides, obviously, that get into the Champions League these days in terms of UEFA, the way they broaden it these days. Which again, it's good for European football, but obviously you're always going to come up against the sort of lesser known sides. And it was a complete role reversal, wasn't it? We expected a tough game against Atalanta, and we didn't get that. And we expected a tough game, an easier game against Midtjylland, and we didn't get that. And they've sort of been flipped. And that's football for you. That's Champions League football. But Mick, at the end of the day, mate, 3 wins out of 3. 9 points, still haven't conceded a goal in a Champions League campaign. No Virgil van Dijk. Fucking pinch me now, because that's just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, I think it does come into effect the type of team you're coming up against. Maybe in your head you think this is going to be easier, so you don't work as harder by 2%, and then that makes a difference. Yeah, definitely get Midtjylland, or Midtjylland as Matt likes to call them. We weren't on it, and they were really up for it, so that's why we still got over the line, and that's like just typical Klopp fucking teams. But especially against these, Klopp knew we had to be absolutely on our A game against these, because they've got that quality in the little pockets, like Gomez and like Muriel and Zapata. They're all quality, and they can all score a goal out of nothing, and we have to be wary of that. And he must have just said to the lads, just make sure you score loads, and then if they get one, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. I've got a quick word on that Zapata, that Duban up front, mate. Honestly, he was absolutely fantastic. I mean, we said on the previous show that he would be a threat. He wasn't a threat as what he should have been. He only turned it on the last half an hour. But Matt, he could potentially be a world class player. He's got the ability. He's got that drive forward in that final third. He's strong. He's quick. He's got a shot on him, as we observed. He could be a really, really good player in a few years' time.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate and it's unfortunate for him that he's getting this noticed as much when he's coming to like the sort of late 20s of his career. But he's a tank, isn't he? He's not as good, but he reminds you a bit of Drogba. He's got that bit of pace. He's got that bit of strength. He can turn. He can shoot. He can cause problems. And you wouldn't be surprised if a Premier League team did take a little risk on him, because he's definitely going to be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Definitely. Go on, Mick.
Like a team challenging for like top 10 or something, he'd be absolutely perfect. 6'2", speedy, strong. Like, I mean, we only seen in the last maybe half an hour of that game, but from that half an hour, you could see that if he got signed by a club with aspirations of getting into the top 10 of the league, he'd be absolutely fine. He'd be boss for them, I think. Yeah.
Well, we've just got a really, really interesting comment from Martin Barton, who says, with Rhys Williams playing so well against a team who play a similar style to City, is there an argument he starts Sunday irrelevant to the fact Matip is fit or not? Matt, I'm going to come to you first on that one. It's a really, really good point by Martin, the fact that he's just said that, because obviously how well Nat Phillips played at the weekend as well. He could be in contention for playing it as well. But Martin's got a really big point there.
Yeah, he does, and I'm not really sure how to answer it.
It's a nice headache, though, isn't it? It's a nice headache. Who'd have thought we'd be having these conversations?
Of course, you want the kid that comes in to impress so much that you don't know if you should start him or not. But I think he's definitely made a case for himself. But I'm sure that I think it's going to be Matip that starts. If not, I don't think he'd been included in the squad. The fact that he's fit enough to travel means that I think Klopp's just gonna see him in, because it's Man City at the end of the day. Like, I know that Phillips came in and had a great game, and I know that Williams would come in and have a great game as well. But you can't expect the City game to be as open, at least on their half, as today. They are going to press us, and Matip has experience playing against Man City. And even though Gomez is becoming a bit more of a leader, Matip will come in there and be that leader. So I think if Matip is 100% fit, and I think he is just because he travelled and Klopp's got that whole if they're not fit they don't travel thing, then I think Matip needs to start. Yeah,
Mike, Mick, Michael, are you in agreement with with Matt?
Matip, if Matip's fit, and obviously like Matt said, he was in the squad today, so he's got to start. Like, I know Reece Williams hasn't put it so wrong, and then obviously Matt Phillips in the last game was great as well. So it's like, it's good to have these selection, like, not youth, because obviously Matt Phillips is 23, but these lads who are on the periphery doing so well, like coming into the first team and showing that they're capable of coming in and playing alongside and filling a gap. And they know that. Definitely Nat Phillips knows he's just doing that for now. Reece will definitely go on to have a future for us, because he's only, like I said, he's only 19. It doesn't seem like he's that young, because he's got quite a cool head on young shoulders. But now, if Matip's fit, he's got to start. Like, Matip and Gomez up against City, that will make me feel a lot better. Coming up against their obviously great attacking qualities they've got up the top end of the pitch.
Really, given the fact that the way these lads have played over the last couple of weeks, you still think that Matip would make you feel more comfortable?
I think so. Just like Matt said, just because of the experience. And when he came in against Everton, I know he got injured in that game, but he was great in that game, Matip. And it's just having that experience in these type of games. Like, you don't want, if Reece Williams started, that'd be made up for him. But then if he did make a mistake, it'd be devastating for him. And if, say, we lost the game 1-0, it would be right on to put that on him. So if Matip's there and ready, available to be selected, then I think you've got to go Joel Matip and just play the experience.
Yeah, Matt Mick's just made a good point there, because obviously the way social media is at the minute, and the way, a player can make one mistake and all of a sudden the heat that comes with that is just it's sometimes unforgivable, really, from the people that do that to those people. But the point I was trying to make there is, when you've got Joel Matip back, and like you said before, the experience that he has, it's better off just having that, because it could be very detrimental to that player who makes that mistake. And let's look at it this way: if City win against us at the weekend and they win their game and they go above us in the table, so it's one of them, isn't it? Where you just think, right, well, yeah, we've got to play it safe rather than go with the youth, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I mean, what you said there is bang on. Like, I do believe that we have probably the best fan base in the world, but with that, we've got some of the worst fans in the world. Like, you saw the hate that Andy Robertson got last year when he gave away the penalty against Napoli. You've seen the hate that Loris Karius continues to get. There's a lot
like the Nico Williams stuff, wasn't it? When Nico Williams recently made a mistake as a young kid and stuff like that. So, apart
from the fact that if a kid comes in, makes a mistake, it's going to wreck his confidence, getting all that hate from your fans is going to wreck your confidence as well. And yeah, I think they've played, of course they played well, and they definitely should be in contention. But I think people maybe are a bit quick to forget how good Joel Matip is when he's on it. Yeah, he's coming back from an injury, but this is a guy that when he hits those heights, I've no doubt that he's definitely at least in the top 10 centre-backs in the Premier League. I'd say even maybe top 5. He isn't just, he's not Dejan Lovren. He's quality. So we can have that extra bit of quality at centre-back. I don't think it's a risk. I think it's a given.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't even think I need to ask you who man of the match was tonight, Mick. Yeah, not even, do you know it is? Matt, you're in complete agreement there, aren't you?
James Milner, yeah.
Well, I like what you've done there, because speaking of James, obviously tomorrow night we've got James Pearce on the show as well. And we just want to say again, thank you very much for watching another episode of Reds in Europe. This has been a fantastic night for Liverpool. We've enjoyed doing another live show, and we'll be back with another Reds in Europe show to preview the next game after the international break. And we'll be back as well doing another live show as soon as the game is finished with Matt and Mick. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.